l'Europe ne se fera pas d'un coup. Elle se fera par des réalisations concrètes, créant d'abord une solidarité de fait.
But this year, as soon as Russian troops crossed the border into Ukraine, our response was united, determined, and immediate. And I think we can be proud of that. We have brought Europe's inner strength back to the surface.
Remote conferencing. I'm quite a happy man to see you, that we can gather once again together today during this Europe Day. I'm very pleased that we're celebrating it with a shared political commitment orchestrated by what will become our universal language. The artists are willing to play their part. And here we are gathered in Strasbourg on the 9th of May, which tells us a great deal about who we are, how we're going to work to shape ourselves after the 70 years of a common experience and looking at the founding moments in our archives. Strasbourg is the city of reconciliation, after all. It is the living symbol of this Europe that said no to war, to build peace, to replace occupation with cooperation, to lift the worries looking towards the borders, to breathe new confidence and friendship into European souls. That's what Strasbourg is all about. Strasbourg, the capital of Europe, is a symbol. And we're not building an imaginary Europe, we're building this feeling of belonging. Strasbourg is the home to what it is in its democratic efforts of outreach, and not just looking to the past, but inspired by it to build the future. This is where the European heart beats. The Council of Europe, the European Parliament, the Parliament that unites us, not a weakness, but certainly it allows us to show our strength and to affirm our identity. So, President David, thank you for being here today with this firm decision to start with the European Parliament's work once again in Strasbourg as soon as possible. We discussed this at great length before. This is a founding chronic of time that we just witnessed together, and this should lead us, it should inspire us to basically grow accustomed to the current situation, but to overcome the weaknesses, but to remain permanently optimistic and driven. That is our duty. And
цінності, за права, за свободу, просто за бажання бути рівними, такими самими, як ви, як кожна людина, ми віддаємо наших найкращих людей, найміцніших, найсильніших українців, надзвичайно. Я говорю сьогодні і зараз про своїх громадян України, які захищають ціною свого життя, захищають цінності, захищають свободу. Я радий, що ми об'єднали сьогодні всіх вас, країни Європейського Союзу, але я не знав, що такою ціною. І це трагедія для мене, трагедія для кожного українця, трагедія для нашої держави. Така висока ціна. Дуже висока ціна. Тисячі загиблих людей. Ніхто не зламає нас. Ми сильні, ми українці. У нас є, ви знаєте, бажання, щоб наші діти жили. Вчора 16 дітей загинуло. І знов президент Путін скаже, що це якась там операція, і ми б'ємо по військовій інфраструктурі. А зараз ми боремося за виживання. І це найголовніша наша мотивація. Але ми боремося і за те, щоб бути рівноправними членами Європи. І я вважаю, що сьогодні ми всім показуємо, що ми такі є. З нами Європейський Союз буде точно міцніший. Без вас Україна буде самотня. Ми довели свою силу, довели, що ми, як мінімум, такі самі, як ви. Доведіть, що ви разом з нами, доведіть, що ви нас не відпускаєте, доведіть, що ви дійсно європейці. І тоді життя переможе смерть, а світ – темряву. Слава Україні!
Not just for Ukraine, but for all of Europe and the world at large. And we will be tested by those who want to exploit any kind of division between us. And this is not only a war unleashed by Russia against Ukraine, this is also a war on our energy, it's a war on our economy, it's a war on our values, it is a war on our future. It is about autocracy against democracy. And I stand here with the conviction that with the necessary courage and with the necessary solidarity, Putin will fail and Ukraine and Europe will prevail. Is the moment to engage beyond blocks and taboos. And Europe is ready for change. Thank you very much, and long live Europe.
This has been an intense experience in the power of participatory democracy after months of discussions and powerful debate. I want to thank you for believing in the promise of Europe.
There is already a lot we can do without delay. And that also goes for those recommendations which will need us to take new actions. So to make sure that we follow up swiftly, I will announce the first new proposals responding to your reports in my State of the Union address in September already. We have one clear message, and that is, yes, Ukraine deserves European perspective. Yes, Ukraine should be welcomed as a candidate country.
We vote on the resolution as a whole. The final vote by roll call. The vote is open. Vote is closed, and it is overwhelmingly adopted.
Our assessment goes broadly into the same direction as for Ukraine. We therefore also recommend that Council grants Moldova the European perspective and candidate status.
Sign the 3 remaining legal documents granting the membership of Croatia in the Eurozone.
C'est un très grand honneur que vous m'avez fait en m'appelant à la présidence du Parlement européen.
We thank you that by your ceaseless efforts and those of the millions of people you represent, you liberated from prison so many of us.
Ce peuple européen uni n'accepteront pas la domination d'une nation ou d'une culture sur d'autres, mais soutiendront le droit égal pour tous d'enrichir les autres de leurs différences.
Der Aufbau des vereinten Europas ist vor allem anderen ein Werk des Friedens. Und dies müssen wir gemeinsam schaffen.
Le nationalisme, c'est la guerre.
Європейський Союз буде точно міцнішим. Без вас Україна буде самотня.